All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful plays in American literature, Arthur Miller's The Crucible. This is a story that asks a really terrifying question. What happens when your reputation is on trial? And the truth? Well, the truth just isn't enough to save you. Okay, just for a second, put yourself in this situation. Imagine someone points a finger right at you. They make an accusation, a big one, the kind that could absolutely ruin your entire life. And get this, there's no proof. None. No real evidence, no facts to back any of it up. But here's the crazy part. In this world, that doesn't even matter. The accusation itself is treated as all the proof anyone needs. So what's driving all of this? Just fear and rumors. That's it. Whispers spreading from person to person like a virus. You know that sinking, helpless feeling of injustice? Well, that is the world the Crucible throws you right into. Yeah, so what we're talking about here isn't just a story, It's a feeling. It's this timeless fear. And Arthur Miller captured it perfectly when he wrote the play back in 1953, even though he said it over 250 years earlier, during the infamous Salem witch trials of 1692. So you've got to ask, right? Why would a modern playwright in the 1950s write about 17th century witches? Because he wasn't just writing about history. No, he was writing about his own time, using the past as a kind of mirror for the present. To pull this off, Miller used a brilliant literary tool, the allegory. So what's an allegory? It's essentially a story that has two layers of meaning. You have the surface story, the one everybody sees, and then you have this hidden, often political message bubbling just underneath. And this right here, this shows you those two layers perfectly. On the one hand, you have Salem in 1692, totally paralyzed by a fear of witches. On the other, 1950s America, gripped by the Red Scare, this massive, nationwide fear of communism. This was the era of McCarthyism, where politicians led these aggressive investigations, pressuring people to name names, to name suspected communists. Sound familiar? Just like in Salem, these accusations, often with zero proof, absolutely destroyed careers and ruined people's lives. Miller was literally holding a mirror up to his own society and saying, look. So, okay, how does this fear actually spiral out of control inside the play itself? Let's break down exactly how this hysteria just completely takes over the town of Salem. It all starts with just one tiny spark, a group of girls trying to stay out of trouble. But that lie spreads like wildfire, and soon the entire town is in a panic. And this is where it gets really, really dangerous. Personal grudges become the fuel. Suddenly, you could get rid of a rival or a neighbor you dislike with a simple accusation. And before you know it, fear has completely burned away all logic, and the town is just consumed by madness. At the center of this firestorm is our main character, a farmer named John Proctor. He sees the absurdity and the injustice of it all, but he gets caught in the web himself and is faced with a truly impossible choice. And here it is, laid out plain and simple. Option 1. He can confess to witchcraft, a lie, and save his own life. Option 2. He can maintain his innocence, tell the truth, and be executed, but die with his honor intact. So what do you do? Live with a lie or die for the truth? And that question, man, that brings us to the absolute core of the play and Proctor's struggle. It all comes down to the value of one's name, of one's own integrity. When the court demands he sign a public confession, he refuses with this powerful, gut-wrenching cry you see on the screen. For Proctor, his name isn't just a word. It's his reputation, his identity, his very soul. To sign his name to a lie would be to erase the one thing he truly has left, his integrity. And through Proctor's choice, Miller is making this bold, profound argument, not just to the audience of his time, but to us too. He's saying that some things, like your personal integrity and your good name, are more valuable than life itself. So why does a play about 17th century witch hunts still get performed all over the world? Why do we still care? Because this is not just a history lesson. Its themes are, frankly, scarily relevant today, acting as a warning that just keeps echoing through the decades. I mean, think about it. The mass hysteria of Salem looks a lot like modern online shaming or cancel culture, where reputations can be destroyed in an instant. The rapid spread of rumors in the play, well, that's just misinformation going viral on social media.
We see people being judged without all the evidence, and we feel that immense pressure to conform to whatever the dominant opinion is. Groupthink.
So, what's the big takeaway here? The Crucible is a timeless reminder that when a society is gripped by fear, telling the truth isn't easy. It becomes an act of profound courage. And that leaves us with this final, chilling question that the play puts directly to all of us. In our own time, when we see fear replacing reason, who will be brave enough to stand for the truth?